Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm talking about Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 6, the final episode in the whole series. I'm running you through what I thought, my issues, my qualms, what things I liked, what I didn't like, but yeah, let's go. Okay, so my main issue with this episode was the Daenerys situation. So you're telling me that she spent 8 seasons, 10 years, let's just say, if I guess, trying to get the throne, and then she just dies at the end. It just wasn't what I expected, or what I wanted, or what I think makes sense. That she would fight all that time, and then for her to just get stabbed by Jon Snow was just a bit of a naff ending. From Jon's behaviour when Tyrion was quizzing him, he didn't seem that he seemed to think that he was actually going to kill her, and then he goes up and kisses her and then just stabs her, and then she literally just dies instantaneously and like collapses. I just thought it was a bit crap. Oh, like stab and then she just dies. And then why would the dragon then not kill Jon Snow? If he was that furious, he melted the chair and then flew off with her dead body. So I saw a thing online saying that apparently he realised that the throne was the reason that all of this had happened, and why these people had died, and why she had died, and he realised that there was more to life, and that he wanted to end this stupidity, this obsession with the throne. So by doing that, he just melted the throne, and also Bran doesn't need a chair because he's in a wheelchair. I don't know, just something else, like her just getting stabbed to death is just such a pathetic ending to such a great plot. Jon Snow, I never liked Jon Snow, I said this before, I still don't like him. I think his character was kind of annoying for me personally. He was just the guy that was like, I don't want to be king, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do that, please, not me, please, not this. Like, Jon, it's in your blood, you're the king, just man up and suck up and just be the king. Like, stop making such a big deal out of it. Like, you don't want to be rich and control and power and do what you want and have whatever you want, acting as if they're going to kill you, whatever, fine. So okay, Jon Snow survives, kills her, cool. I thought that he would then become the king. Are you kidding? When they then sentence him into prison and then exile him. He was the reason that they kind of survive, as in like fighting the Walking Dead or whatever they're called, the Night Army, whatever. But you get what I'm saying. And going into battle, and then he'd like gone around and done all these plans. So he had helped them survive the whole thing. So for them to be like, yeah, actually, do you know what, Jon Snow? Why don't you just go out back to the Night's Watch? It just doesn't make sense. I mean, obviously I get that it's kind of poetic in the sense that he started out on the Night's Watch and didn't really want to be there, and then eventually ended up going back there. So I guess it's a full circle, but I just don't think that Arya and Sansa would have allowed them to banish their brother for no reason. I thought it was cool that it ended with him walking away from that gate, which is kind of how the series started. It's that really long walk of someone walking up to the gate, which is actually the reason I didn't watch it initially. I stopped watching the first episode because that walk is like a 10-minute walk. It's a stupid scene, but it's a nice fulfillment of the whole cycle of Jon Snow walking away from the gate, and then it ends. Fair enough. Arya, I just like, what the hell is that? Give me a better storyline to end her. After her learning how to like die and not die and wear people's faces and become other people, the end of her storyline is that she's going to go and become an adventurer. That is just, I mean, I don't really get what the point in that. Well, what is the message from that? That the world's evil, she doesn't want to be in it anymore, or she like planning to go out there and kill herself, or she knows she'll die or be alone. I don't really get what the message of her just saying, what's west of west? That was just a pointless ending. For me anyway, a bit of a pointless ending. Bran is the single-handed most annoying character to ever grace our TV screens. Fair enough to the guy who's playing him, I'm not slating him, but he sits in a wheelchair and has one line an episode, and doesn't really speak clearly, just speaks in kind of riddles. And now he's killed. I mean, I get he's the wisest person ever, but he's shown no desire to lead, no leadership ability, no ability to, have empathy towards people, or understanding, or wanting the best for, everyone else, and like wanting to free the slaves. He's just like the all-wise who doesn't really actually, if you think about him, since he became the Three-Eyed Raven, he hasn't actually actively done anything. He's kind of just let everything take its course in the way that he knew it would, such as sitting in the chair rolling his eyes back for 3 hours whilst people defend him, and then Greyjoy gets killed, but whatever. Bran kind of just fell out of a building, got disabled, and then was dragged around, accidentally met some tree people, and then met a tree man, and then became a raven, and now he's king. It's kind of just like, I don't think that was a satisfying end to the whole series. But again, I guess maybe there's a message that I'm not getting. And obviously if I'm saying this stuff and there are actually meanings behind this that I haven't picked up on, then I guess comment and let me know. But for me, I haven't really picked up on them. This is just a small thing. Cersei and Jaime being uncovered by Tyrion, the way they were dead so perfectly. If a castle built with huge rocks was to crumble, you would not be whole. Your skull would be smashed in. Like, you'd be like literally pummeled. I don't understand how Tyrion was just like picking up these rocks really lightly and like getting through, and then like Cersei was there and Jaime's metal hand was here and they were like holding each other. Like, you'd get trampled. So that was just a stupid. I don't even know what the point in that scene was. Like, him seeing the hand should have been enough for us to understand that they were there, and that should have ended it. Him just uncovering their perfectly laid bodies. It was also kind of infuriating, given that Cersei literally murdered, let's say, millions of people for no reason and killed people and blew up the whole of that church for no reason. Like, she's evil, and for her to die with her love of her life and also die so perfectly is just a bit of a piss take. So I guess the message from that is that, like, there's no justice in the world, because that's what I got. Also, the whole incestual thing is kind of gross to me, so let's just leave it at that and move on. I feel like I've just ranted this whole time and said that nothing's good, and obviously there were good bits of the episode. I did like the way the whole thing was shot, really. I mean, this episode was really well shot, and I've been watching a lot of behind the scenes videos and looking into how they actually produced it and the amount of planning they had to do, and like filming the castle being burnt down and the dragons and the editing. I appreciate the work that the team and the producers have put into it, and the cast are good actors as well. I just think that what let it down this season for me was the writing, in the sense that I think across the last 8 seasons that we've had, they gradually developed all the characters through subtlety and different changes and like trials and tribulations and stuff, and then that kind of led us to feel a certain way towards them. Whereas in this season, I feel that they had X amount of time, and they kind of, rather than showing us a story, they kind of just like showed us the end point. So Jon's gonna kill Daenerys, rather than like building up to it and like making us consider and wonder what's gonna happen. In the last episode, he's like, I'm not gonna kill her, and then Tyrion's like, you should kill her, and then he's like, okay, cool, and then just stabs her, and then that storyline just ends really abruptly. I don't think it was building throughout the whole season, which I don't know if that was because of time constraints or if the writers were like trying to just be crazy. I think I just didn't feel as invested in the characters this season as I have for the rest of the other seasons. So if you think about like the Red Wedding, I was completely in shock. I wasn't expecting that at all, and I like, even though I'd only known the characters for a season or two, I was still really shocked and sad and kind of upset to see them all get murdered horrendously. And so throughout the season, characters that you haven't expected to die have died, and have died in ways you haven't thought they would die, and you kind of have gradually, through the storytelling, built a kind of connection to that character. When they die, it means more. In this season, I guess we kind of knew everyone was a lot of people were gonna die, but I don't feel like they built that kind of like connection between the audience and the characters. In this season, the death happens so abruptly, and then they move on to another death, and it's kind of not really left to sink in for long enough, which I guess might have been because it was the finale and they had to kind of kill off people who needed to die in that sense. But for me, obviously I still love the whole season. I think it's a great show. It's amazingly filmed and produced and written most of the time, and they're great actors, and I'm sure they'll be successful going forward from this, because the show is huge and is, I guess, I saw yesterday that it broke HBO's streaming record of all time, so it's doing really well. But I think the last season might have let it down a little bit, just certain storylines and a bit of writing, but still an amazing series. Definitely, if you haven't seen it, do watch it. Obviously, if you've watched this, you're a bit of an idiot, because I've just spoiled everything for you and said who dies at the end. Game of Thrones, thank you for only about 4 years of my life. I started watching in third of uni. For those of you who watched from the beginning, thanks for X number of years. And I am looking forward to the next show that captivates the whole world in this way. I'm not sure what it'll be. Let me know if you agree, let me know if you disagree, if you thought it was good, if you thought it was bad, and comment, share, like, all that kind of stuff. And I will see you guys on my next video. Goodbye.